everybody, welcome back to the Rabbitat Homestead. Today I'm gonna take care of the rabbits. It's super easy, watch this. It's time to give them water. And the babies are in the way. They're super dirty, so we need to clean them out. Now it's time to feed them.
Now, one thing I would like to mention is a lot of hutches that you see, a lot of times people will put the feeders on the outside of the wire, and they'll just put the bottom lip where the food is through the wire. They cut a little hole. Now, we don't do that because where we live, we're in a very rural area. There's woods all around us, and we have a lot of predators. So it just makes us nervous having that on the wire when it could be knocked over or taken off by wildlife, and then having that hole in the wire. So we just leave it inside. It does make things a little, it would be easier if it was on the outside of the hutch to feed them, but it's really not that big of a sacrifice to have it inside. It's just safer that way. We prefer it that way.
And all done.
Good job.
Now we just gotta flatten it down. Now,
Gotta close the lid.
close. See, everybody, it's super easy taking care of the rabbits. Only 3 today.
Okay.
Only 3.
So I was just out here taking care of these guys for the day, and I thought it'd be the perfect opportunity to show you that their boxes need to be cleaned out every so often. They're 4 weeks old now, and they're now drinking water, eating pellets, and you're gonna start seeing little tiny droppings all over the place. But they are still nursing. But as you can see inside the box, I already scraped out the front, but in the very back is where they like to sleep. And as you can see, it's packed down full of droppings and pee and all that good stuff. So we just take this little scraper and we scrape it up, and then we'll dump it, and then we'll leave it out to dry so it's not soaking wet. So we'll leave that out to dry for a little bit. But yeah, as you can see, they're drinking water and getting around really well at this point. So just wanted to give you guys a little insight on that. You will have to clean it out more often than just at 4 weeks. You'll have to clean it out like 2 weeks after they're born, and then 4 weeks is a good time to clean them out. But when we grabbed one of these guys, let's see if they'll let me. I don't know if you can tell. This one's not too bad, but we were just handling them because this is a good age to handle your baby kits, especially if you're going to be rehoming them as pets. She's a little dirty on the face, but as you can see, her paws are very dirty, and that's how I noticed that her box needed to be cleaned out. So just keep an eye out for that. It just keeps them healthy and they're not sleeping in their own waste. So that should solve the problem, just cleaning out their box. I'll put a little fresh layer of hay to give them a little padding to sleep on. And so it's a nice warm day today, but we're still going to be getting really cold temperatures, so I'll just make sure they have something comfy to sleep on, and that's about it. These guys are pretty easy. They're, like I said, they're only a month old. And then the next big step's going to be at 8 weeks old, and that's when we wean them from mom and move them over to their grow out hutch. So that'll be a separate video, but we'll have a lot of useful information in that video to come. Okay, so it's a few hours later, and we actually took this off for him because it's 50 degrees today. It's a really nice day. So we took this off to give them a little bit of air, and now we're going to give them back their box. We let this sit out for a little while to dry off, and it's pretty dry, so we're going to give that back to them. And I'm also going to put a little bit of hay in the bottom. A little bit, not too much, just a little something for them to kind of lay on and nibble on. They'll be happy to get their little box back. Rabbits in a hutch like this, it's really important to make sure that they have a piece of wood to rest on. So we give them, it's kind of messy, but they like to chew on it, which is good. Rabbits love to chew on things, and it also gives them a place to rest. It can give them sore hocks, and this will just give them a break from having their feet on the wire all the time. But this will also get kind of caked full of nasty stuff from the rabbits, so we just scrape the stuff off of this as well. It's not perfect, but so we'll get that back to them. Another thing I thought I would mention is I give them a little bit of hay. I give the rabbits that are nursing just the amount of hay that she would eat in a day. These little guys, they'll nibble at it little by little, and it'll kind of give their system some time to get used to eating hay because their stomachs are very sensitive, and if they get an upset stomach, it could actually be fatal for them. So it's important just to give them a little bit of hay, just as much. Basically just give the mom hay, and the babies will nibble on it here and there, and that'll give them time to adjust. If you give them too much hay, that is just an opportunity for the little babies to eat too much and get sick. So this is all I'm going to give mom, and the little babies will just nibble on it. And I always put it on top of her box. We don't buy a hay rack. We just don't see the need for it. It is important to keep it off the rack, since that is where all their waste usually falls through. So I always put it on top of their box. It seems to work out better. Put it on their box. Now another thing I wanted to mention is when these baby rabbits start eating pellets, make sure that this feeder is low enough for them to reach it, because a lot of times, you know, I have it up higher because mom eats from it, but once the babies start eating around 3.5 to 4 weeks, it's good to lower it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I also keep this full at all times because the babies could use all the food they can get. And they usually go through it pretty quick. So when mom's not nursing and she doesn't have kits, we'll switch it to a smaller one. They sell ones that are about half this size. But since she's nursing, we give her the big one. There's Ginger eating her Timothy hay. Good girl. Just when you think that they're old enough and you're not going to be losing them, you lose one. We did have a really bad windstorm last night. It's still really windy. So I'm thinking the rabbits probably panicked in their hutch because of all the noise. Our grill actually blew over and all kinds of stuff blew over all over the yard. And I'm thinking the rabbits got scared. So mom probably started running around a little bit and probably crushed this little guy. So unfortunately, that's part of raising rabbits. I mean, this rabbit's a month old, and you can lose them. I mean, we lose a lot more when they're super little and when they're really young. But mom probably jumped on this one and crushed it.
Until next time, thanks for watching.